Coming up here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports, the New England Patriots made several roster moves today during their last week of OTAs. So they actually recently waived an offensive line. We're going to break that down. They also signed a rookie to his rookie contract on Friday. But then with that open roster spot after waiving the lineman, they wasted no time. They signed a wide receiver. Let's go ahead and break that down. But first things first, I want you guys to subscribe to Patriots Today by Chat Sports, because if anything happens with the Patriots roster, Patriots offseason, or even the regular season, you know we've got you covered right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. What's going on, Patriots fans? Welcome in. I am your host, Allie Barefoot. Let's go ahead and get into the news. There's a lot to unpack on today's show. The latest news is that the Patriots have waived offensive lineman Andrew Stueber ahead of the final week of OTAs. The minute I saw this, I'm like, man, they waived Stube? It's tough. He was an early draft pick a few years ago, but unfortunately he did not do that much with the Patriots here in the last couple of years. So with that being said, here is the official report here from Mike Reiss saying the Patriots have informed offensive lineman Andrew of their plans to waive him. Stueber was a 7th-round pick in 2022 out of Michigan, and he was vying for a backup spot on the line this year. But we know the Patriots' number one resource that they're trying to capitalize here in this offseason is their offense. They are making a ton of offensive moves, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not that surprised because he was competing for a backup position here. It's not like they're just waiving guys to relieve some of that cap space like they were doing earlier in the offseason. But now when you've got somebody like Stueber, been dealing with some injuries, they wanted to make ways for more offensive resources than maybe a backup offensive lineman. Not to say they're not still really working on their offensive line, but that's why I'm going to talk about the rookie signing in just a moment. Here's the breaking news that came out a little bit more than 30 minutes ago from the Patriots reporter saying they did sign a Division III wide receiver to a UDFA. Let's go ahead and break down who this Division III wide receiver actually is, because the Patriots did sign UDFA wide receiver David Wallis. No, not from Scranton, not from the office. He participated in rookie minicamp last month, working as a slot receiver. And let's talk a little bit about where this wide receiver came from, because this is not just any Division III college. This is Randolph Macon. I'm from Virginia. I have a brother and a boyfriend that went to Hampton-Sydney, which is a longtime rival of Randolph Macon when it comes to Division III athletics. Macon is the powerhouse of Division III football programs. And I get it. It's not the same as D2, D1. I understand. But look at these numbers. This is something pretty special regardless of what division you're playing in my opinion. 42 total games, 3,144 yards in 5 years, 146 receptions, and 34 touchdowns. When I tell you I have watched numerous Randolph Macon games in my time supporting my brother and my boyfriend playing for Hampton-Sydney, Macon is the real deal. So when I do see that he showed out in rookie minicamp to the point where they're going to waive an offensive lineman to make room for a little bit more in terms of giving resources to Drake May, Jacoby Brissett, Bailey Zappi, I like this move a lot. I really do. I think the wide receiver room can continue to get better. I am a little weary about how that offensive line is going to shape up, but this is another reason why I like what the Patriots are doing right now in the front office. They gave Caedan Wallace his rookie contract. I guess it's the day for Wallace's, you get a contract. But they did sign Caedan on Friday. This is now the latest rookie to sign his rookie contract. Of course, we did report last week that Drake May put pen to paper to officially become a New England Patriot ahead of minicamp. Mike Reiss, one more time with the official report here for Caedan Wallace signing his rookie contract. He was the 3rd-round pick from Penn State. He is the 6th of 8 picks to sign his rookie contract. 2nd-rounder Jalen Polk and 4th-rounder Leighton Robinson do still remain. I have no doubt that they're actually going to sign Jalen Polk, and we'll have to see what Leighton Robinson's type of role is going to be here in the offseason. But overall, I think Wallace is going to be dominant, whether it's going to be at that starting left tackle position or in the depth chart, because that's the big question here about the Patriots is who is going to protect whoever's in the backfield's blind side. That's going to be huge here. And we do know Caedan Wallace primarily played right tackle in college, but he did get reps at left tackle in rookie minicamps which is huge. And now he's being considered a candidate to play left tackle for the Patriots, competing for Okorafor for that starting left tackle position. Like I said, I'm very excited for Caedan Wallace this season. I even like that a little rookie is getting in some reps here, trying to vie that breaking starting nod there for the Patriots. I do think that Caedan Wallace has an opportunity to really be explosive, and he's a big guy. He's thick, and he's that type of guy that he will not wait for the whistle to be aggressive. He is aggressive from the minute his fingers touch that ground to the minute the play is over, and I do think Wallace will make an impact. I'm hoping he does not. He proves me wrong here in the OTAs that he can be a starting left tackle. So one-word reaction for your Patriots roster moves. Go on ahead and comment that down below because obviously you waived Stueber. You're going to sign a Wallace and sign a Wallace over the weekend. So obviously there's a lot of stuff going on right now with Gerard Mayo and Elliott Wolf. One-word reaction to the Patriots roster moves. Next, I'm going to talk about two players who an NFL analyst is saying could be a standout here to make the 53-man roster for the Patriots. They both played in the NFL before, so now they're trying to make a home for themselves in New England. I'm going to break that down in just a few moments. But like I said, do one thing for me. Hit that sub button for me. I promise this is the best place for you guys to get your free information on the New England Patriots this offseason, training camp, regular season, and possibly even the playoffs. We'll see what the Patriots can do here. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button for me, and let's go ahead and get into the two standouts that NFL analyst Mike Reiss has seen in the OTAs, because they are fighting for the 53-man roster here after they did get released from their former teams here. But, of course, those two standouts, well, Mike Reiss has more to tell us on that. He said, free agent signing Oshane Ximines, and I do apologize if I do fumble his name, fifth year from ODU, and former practice squad player William Bradley King, first year from Baylor, have taken advantage, putting them in the category of under-the-radar players, building momentum to make an unexpected charge for a roster spot. With so much media attention naturally focused on May and the offense during practices, not to be overlooked are some of the new faces potentially emerging on D. And we've talked about this before. Offense is obviously the main priority for the Patriots this season. But you cannot rule out how great the defense has been and how there are now emerging stars trying to crack that defensive rotation. Here's what you guys should know about Ximines. So you do have, he played for the New England Patriots, wow. The New York Giants for the last 5 seasons, 48 games played, 71 total tackles, and about 6.5 sacks. They did sign him in April, and he spent most of last season on the practice squad. But this is primarily going to be a little bit of linebacker depth here heading into the regular season. I talked to Giants Now host Marshall Green. Hey, tell me a little bit about Ximines. What was he like here playing for the Giants? And he's like, he really wasn't that standout guy. He was never really going to crack that starting rotation. But that's what he's trying to do right now in OTAs, is just stand out enough to make that 53-man roster. Well, here's another player that Mike Reiss said, William Bradley King. He was drafted 7th round in 2021 by the Washington Commanders. Signed with Patriots practice squad in October of last season, and he's played in 4 games in the last 2 seasons. So obviously, it's great news that William Bradley is really trying to make a name for himself here and start to move up a little bit in that depth chart. But more likely than not, you're looking at 2 players who are just fighting for a backup position. And if you look at that linebacker depth, obviously from Matt Judon and on, they've got some stellar linebackers there to start off that secondary. And then you can see Oshane is just slightly behind Bentley here. He can either be the strong side linebacker, or you can run him at the Mike as well. When you look at the Patriots' defensive line depth chart, here is where Bradley King starts to really try to make a name for himself, because you're going to be behind Keon White, and then you got Wise, and then you're going to have Bradley King there. That's going to be a very tough position to try and move up. Really, if you're going to see a Bradley King in a game, it's going to be because there was significant injuries at that DN spot, which we really do not want to see. But like I said, defense has never been the main issue here for the Patriots. If anything, it's been the bright spot. So when you've got 2 dogs vying for that depth chart role, I'm all for it. Show me your best stuff. OTAs are for education and for popping off your skill set as much as you possibly can before you put on pads and before you put on helmets and it starts to get physical. This is where you show your technique. So I have no problem with these 2 players standing out, and I really do hope they make a splash. But I do think Ximines has a better opportunity at having a better OTA. When you look at what they've done in the last couple of years, obviously Ximines is a little bit more structured and a little bit more has, what am I looking for? Whatever. He's been in the league for a while. Goodness gracious. He's been in the league for a while. You saw what he did with the Giants. Obviously, he does have a little bit more in his back pocket here. But overall, these two players standing out, I have no problem with it. Like I said, I hope they continue to be explosive. It just makes the Patriots work harder in practice, but I don't see either of them making this huge impact towards the 53-man roster. I love what Mike Reiss said, that they're going to be under-the-radar players. And you should keep an eye out for their names when that 53-man roster does come out, because I have a feeling they're going to be working their asses off for the entirety of OTAs and then heading into training camp here. But I don't know if this is going to be a type of player that you need to keep a significant eye on, in the sense that I don't see them cracking that starting rotation anytime soon. But if they're going to try their hardest to make that depth chart, I'm all for it. But with the final week of OTAs being here, which player do you want to see stand out in the last week of Patriots OTAs? If there's a player you've really been waiting on, he's been a fan favorite of yours for a while, go on ahead and comment down below who your standout player is ahead of minicamp, and let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, anything and everything New England Patriots we've got right here at Patriots Today by Chat Sports, completely free information. So I want you guys to do one thing for me. Hit that sub button.